Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolours in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. Diane here, hope everyone's well. Today I'm going to do a really quick wintry scene, and this is a scene with birch trees, silver birches, in a forest with a little cottage there snuggled down in the snow. And I'm going to do this using the wax resist technique that you can do with using a candle or even a tea light if you don't have a proper candle. A white candle is what you need. And I have one here which I have sacrificed in the name of art and broken it in half so that I can draw with this piece, which will work quite well, and I'll be able to do that. So I'll put that to one side. And so this is the one I did as a tryout, which it's got one or two slight mistakes there. There's a bit of a background there, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really spoil it. But I thought that the effect on the trees was quite nice, and you'll see in a minute just how easy that is. So I'll put that down there while I show you the other things I've got. I've got a little pencil to draw with, and this is a pencil that I use to do the darks in this painting. This is a Staedtler Karat Aquarell watercolor pencil in black, which dissolves very nicely into water and gives you some very dramatic darks, which is great. I've got a large, this is a size 14 round, a nice large round. And the colours I'm going to use, probably, I might do this one that I'm going to do now with Potter's Pink instead of Naples Yellow. And I've got indigo and ultramarine there. And I probably will need a little bit also of brown. So I'll probably pick up some burnt sienna or something like that. I've got my Viviva pan set here that's got a nice brown on it there, so I'll pop that there in case I need it. So let's get started. I've got a piece of this is Canson Etival watercolor paper. It's not cotton, it's cellulose. I like working on cellulose paper because I find it's a very much more freeing experience, because you don't have to worry about spoiling $1's worth of paper at the slightest mistake. And honestly, I can't, to tell you the truth, really tell the difference. So I either use this most of the time or I use Bockingford. And I'm not going to paint right to the edges. I'm going to do this in a kind of vignette style, so it will stop short of the edges. And so what we do is we're going to put in the two layers of the horizon line. So there's one slope and then another slope. And always have your eraser handy, because you can be guaranteed to make a mistake when you first start. So you don't want that. And I have a brush as well. Oh, you can tell it's early in the morning and I haven't had my morning coffee yet. Tamsin's just been extricating, or we both have, a cockerel from the chicken netting that is enclosing him. And he'd got himself well and truly tangled up. So we had to cut him free, and that's what we've been doing just now, after having walked the dog and found that the neighbour's cows had escaped. And so it's been all happening this morning. So here's a little cottage, and I'm going to put a pile of wood up outside, logs piled up outside the cottage, and let's make the eaves nice and deep as if it was a Swiss house or a cottage there. So that's like that. And then I'm not going to draw the placing of the trees. I'm just going to take my candle and I'm going to draw them in. Just like this. Just draw some lines at different angles. There. So these ones are relatively in the foreground, and then we'll turn the thing on its side and do some smaller ones back here. And you can't see what you've done. Sorry about that. You cannot see, I cannot see, nobody can see what I've done. But there we are. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come in with a little bit of Potter's Pink in the background there, and immediately you can see the trees are starting to appear. And then I'm going to drop in some darker colours. Well, that's a bit dark, isn't it? I'm doubting that that is actually indigo. It doesn't look like indigo. I'm going to go around the house, paint that afterwards. Put a bit of black in with that colour. I don't know what colour that is. Not sure. I think I've got it mislabeled. So anyway, we'll come over here now. And you can see the trees starting to appear. And then I'm going to put some shadows in for these trees. Like that. And then some smaller, slightly smaller ones over here. And then let's take a little bit of blue, a little bit of Potter's Pink, a little bit of blue to paint the house. Try not to let it run, if possible. And then we're going to come in with our pencil and we're going to do some funky things with that. Now, if you run the pencil down the side of your tree, while it's still wet, you get quite strong effects. You can put bits of shadow bark where the bark is ripped or whatever. You can adjust the shape. You can make two trees side by side. And if you wait for it to dry a bit, you get lines which are much less pronounced. So, and the other thing that you can do, of course, is you can pick up some of the colour if you want, make it lighter. I'm just going to come down to the house here, outline the roof. And put in the the side branches. And then we can draw in some grasses between the trees. And maybe we might want to put in some twigs growing up in the background. You can do as much of this as you want, or as little. Basically creating a forest. Want the little dark door there. And then the same over this side as well. Just these are further away, so you might want to do them second so that the amount of black you get from the pencil is less. And if you do want to make it darker, you just have to wet the brush, and come in with your water, like that. So then I'm going to take some pink and some ultramarine to make another little bit of grey, pinky grey, bluey colour. And we'll put a little bit more shadow in the foreground here and in front of the house, just so that it's a bit more three-dimensional, I suppose. And we could put a bit more behind the trees up here. And because I've made that wet again, I can now come in and just sharpen that up a little bit. And we'll put some branches in. And a little bit of grass. And then maybe we could put a little bit of life in the painting. So hold on a second while I find a rabbit. I think I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put a bunny rabbit here. Looking for a smaller brush. Size 7. Paint the inside of his ears first, and then the outside of his ears. We need to put some eyes in a minute when it's dried a bit, but we won't do that just yet. And then he needs to be sitting in a bit of shadow. So. And some. Okay, and maybe I can do his eye with this. And then he needs a nose and mouth, doesn't he? So I'll take the pen and just give him the typical rabbit. Look like that. And we'll need to let that dry before we can finish off with some whiskers. I think I probably want to let that dry. So there we are, that's finished. I've put some whiskers in for the bunny rabbit, and I'm just going to flick out a tiny white spot using this scalpel for the light in his eye. And I'm not giving him any more details. That's all he's going to get from me today. I hope you enjoyed watching me do that today and give it a try. The idea of the wax resist using a piece of candle is a very good one. I find that much more artistic than using masking fluid, because you could use masking fluid to mask out the trees, but the candle is much more organic and pleasant to use. I don't like masking fluid very much because it leaves very sharp lines, whereas this leaves nice soft lines, and some of the paint will adhere, and so it gives you much more texture. Anyway, there we are. I'll see you again soon. Give us a like and subscribe, turn on notifications, visit the website, download the sketches, join our community of followers, or leave us a tip in the tip jar as your fancy takes you, as they say. So I'll see you again soon. Bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.